Hey everybody, how are you? So I'm about to upload a video that I did with Tony Rodrigues. So Tony has been on the circuit now for a while telling his story about being abducted at 10 and living on and off planet and the horrific events that happened to him and him bringing it to life so that you all could hear it. And it's not just about you hearing it, but to bring awareness to the fact that this has been going on a very, very long time. And it's been hidden. It's been hidden and erased from people's memories. So before I get into that part of it, what intrigued me to get in touch with Tony was wanting to understand the man and the boy, and what it was like to go to bed and then wake up, which was basically the next morning, and then how was your life from there? And you know, I remember 20 years ago reading a book about a military guy. I guess he's ex-military, and he was writing about remote viewing. Who the hell knew what that was, right? But he went through a lot of suffering. I think he had his life threatened. He was discredited. I think they tried to discredit his mental status, etc. Lost family. Gave up everything just to get this information out. And you ask yourself, wow, what courage that must have taken, because he didn't do it for the money, because you don't make millions off a book. So when I read that, I was like, wow, what you went through. And then in knowing a lot of the things that I know and coming in more aware and awake, and, going into my healing work in the 90s and being self-taught with a lot of energy work, I worked with a lot of amazing healing modalities. Past life regression helped me understand things about my own voice, even in this lifetime. And I also learned that I needed to get more rest, because apparently when I'm sleeping, I go out and I'm doing work. So when I first heard this from a healer that I was working with, I was pissed. I was pissed. I was like, I'm sorry, what? I'm going to bed. No, you're going to bed, but then your memories are erased and you're put back. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to have a long talk with my guides. So yeah, my guides and I had some long talks about it. And then once I understood that I was protected, that the work that I was doing was in the higher vibrational frequencies, okay, then I was okay with it. And some of the things I would remember, and at one point in time, I remember being in a cave, and I'm fighting with a group of people, and I have no idea what weapons we're using, but one of the people I'm fighting with goes running behind me, and instinctively I know that he's running after like a decoy, like a demon decoy. And so I take off after him, and then two of my buddies take off with me, and we go through these catacombs, and next thing you know, we're pushing open this stone into this long, dark tunnel where we think he went. And you could feel and smell and sense danger, like beyond what you think you could handle danger. And so the buddy that ran off following the decoy that I chased, he was hanging behind the door. So apparently he ran and he got stopped, and then he was stuck. So he jumped over into one of my buddy's arms. We were able to close and seal whatever was in there. And then the dream was done. I call it a dream. Most of us will call it a dream. So with that being said, it was maybe a few days later, I was having lunch with someone. Now I had forgotten completely about all this. Like it wasn't even anything. And I'm at lunch and she says something and boom, triggered it. And I'm literally facing her at lunch and this whole movie is playing out and I'm feeling it. I'm like feeling myself doing this. And then I remember at one point I went like that. And then she's like, what's going on? So I told her, and I literally had a scratch on my arm because as I was going through it, I was physically, impulsively, my body was moving with what it was that I was doing. So it triggered a lot of that. Now, because it was within a certain time frame, and I also was preempted to know that I went out of body at night to do work, I understood it, okay? But for a lot of people, they don't understand what's happening and they're not remembering. And then certain things will trigger and you just think you're crazy. Like, where'd that come from? That's weird. Oh, must subconscious television program, something somebody said, whatever it is. And you always make excuses because that's what humans do. We override our survival instincts sometimes. It's just what we do. We make excuses for it and we're taught to do that. Now, I work with clients and with children. And some of my clients in an embodiment of the soul session, which is a combination of many things, I've had many remember going up on a ship or remembering being on another turf, another planet, not looking the same and being part of another group. I've had all of that occur. I've had children tell me about other planets and languages and things that are happening and wars that are going on and talk about descriptively. And so I know that I'm here to be a bridge to help people connect with all of that, especially the little people, because they come in with so much and then it's broken off and it's left there, and then they go on through their life, and then at some point through a drama, trauma or something, enough flashbacks or whatever come up where now they realize they want to explore that, and you have to go back and put all the pieces together, and it can be really difficult. It takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of due diligence to do that and stick with it, right? So my goal is now to get it before it gets to that. So anyway, fast forward to what's happening with a lot of people is they've had experiences they can't explain. And they don't know who to turn to because traditional this, and that isn't going to support the stuff that you want to explain. You need help to put the dots together. So I think Tony was chosen for many different reasons, but I think he was also chosen by even a higher power so that his memories did come fully intact, and he's able to put this information out through a lot of agony, a lot of heartache, and I mean, I know for me, I've done the caterpillar butterfly metamorphosis on many occasions. I can't imagine what it was like for him. It just can't, because so much of it is beyond horrific, and it's beyond our comprehension on any level. So it's like when you listen to him talk on other shows, it's always about the highlights of everything. And because he's written it all out for many years in a book, he's able to just sort of say things when people ask him a lot of questions. But I wanted to know about the 10-year-old. I wanted to know about that. And I wanted to know about that from a point of view of the feeling. And who else is going through something like that? And then after all this occurs, and you've done your book, and Tony's gotten it all out there, now what? What do you do to help others? Well, he's designed a course, a meditative course, that you can do that helps. He does one-on-one sessions with people to determine if, in fact, they went through what he went through or something similar, or if it's something else, right? But either way, you have someone to talk to, right? And now, how do we get this out so that other people have more ways and more assistance and more help to find out what's stored in their 95% consciousness, which is your basement, your attic, the corners, whatever, with many lifetimes in there. And it's difficult to do it on your own. So you need a trusted practitioner. And Tony has researched himself enough that he's becoming this helpful practitioner for others to at least determine where they need to be or help them find some resolve, clarity, understanding, so they can exhale that this did occur or in some form or fashion. It's why I do what I do. It's because of all the crap I've gone through, and it's helped me get to the next step and the next step. But I have not gone through what this man has gone through. And so in doing this interview, I didn't want it to be on all the highlights. And I wanted it to be on the human back in his bed and all the relationships with life and others that occurred from that moment on. And I would love to do another one with Tony because, you know, we didn't plan anything. Hi, how are you? Hey, Tony, this is what I'm thinking about doing. Okay, no problem. 30 seconds later, we bounced with record. But since then, I think there's a lot more that's going to be coming up, at least it has been for me, that I would like to explore further with him if he has the time, because I know that he's so busy with creating his courses as well as, coming on shows and putting things out there and traveling and all the things that he does. I'm hoping he can give me another hour at some point and we could bounce again on the topic and see if we can't trigger others to see if it happened within themselves, it happened within their children or in a loved one. And that was the other thing I wanted to say is, my youngest came in with the abilities to talk to the other side and a lot of other things. And she had a lot of things that went on through her dream state. And some I know and some I don't know. And I'm hoping now that she's a grown adult that she'll be willing to unite with me and work with me to assist others on this journey, because we've all got stuff that's going on that we can't explain, and it's because we don't live in a world where everything is tangible, physical, 3D. We have so many things that have not been exposed. We have not been exposed to. And I'm not going to go down that path because it's not the point with this. This is just a precursor to launching his video. And I think that was about it. So I really do hope that you enjoy it. And I would really appreciate it if you just give me the finger and tap that like, hit the bell, all notifications, so that you can get more of what I'm putting out. It's all spirit driven. It's all designed, placed in front of me or whatever for it to occur. Anything, messages, anything. And leave me a message. I don't know if I said that or not, but yeah. And you know, it's not that I care if you liked it or I care if you have notifications. I think that there's some valuable stuff that comes through me that I'd love to be able to share, but it's really for the algorithms that I can't control on these platforms. And the only thing that does is is viewing it, sharing it, hitting like, hitting subscribe, hitting a message, you know, sending that off. That is what helps generate the whole thing, okay? So breathe on all of this for a little bit, my friends. Breathe on it. Breathe in that divine God source light. Connect with your God source antenna, the beautiful I am that you are and all that is, and be present in your moment with that breath and tap into what you see, sense, and feel, not just about yourself, but about things that are around you, the people that are around you, and let that soften you a little bit, because it brightens a day when you can put a smile on somebody else's face by just sending them some love and compassion, just through a simple nod, smile, hug, or just douse them with that loving energy. Don't let them trip over it though. All right, bye.